I was saying, woo, he's back, he's alive, and then I realized my mic was muted. Hey guys, my name is Sound of Sheep. Sound of late today. Sorry about that. I was having a bit of a, I'll be honest, I was having a bit of a cosmetic emergency, one might say. And for once, it didn't have to do with my hair that I spend way too much time trying to make look okay. This is so silly. All right. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff today, guys, during this stream. It's just gonna be a just chatting stream, no gameplay. Thanks to everybody who's pulled up. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time, guys. I want to take this stream to talk about, like the title suggests, how Nine Souls has changed me. Unfortunately, I don't think for the better. I think I now have permanently been altered for the negative by Nine Souls. Hi guys, Seamaster, good to see you. Ian, what's up? Everybody who I was seeing in pre-stream chat as well. Hello. I saw Kevin, I saw Sebastian. Guys, thanks for hanging out and waiting. Yeah, I was having a bit of a cosmetic emergency. I wanted to talk about this stream, how Nine Souls has changed me, because the past week has been, since I finished the game, it hasn't even technically been a full calendar week yet since I finished Nine Souls, but the last week has been a doozy. I will say, the first thing I want to say, guys, is that if you didn't know, I'll switch over to this. If you didn't know, oh yeah, I forgot that chat in this layout is like deep fried. I'll fix that soon. But guys, let me show you the first and foremost thing that I'm talking about. If you're watching this stream and somehow you didn't find out or hear about this, last Tuesday, I started streaming the final boss of Nine Souls, Eigong, right? I was going for one big boss rush finale. Not even a boss rush, just one boss. Just me trying to grind out Eigong, finish that fight. I knew it was going to be hard. I went into last Tuesday's stream with the idea in mind. I'm gonna dedicate a full 4 hours to this one live stream, right? So I can knock it out and be done with the game, be done with Eigong, be done with the boss, right? That 4-hour live stream very quickly, well, I should say not quickly, but eventually turned into a 17-hour marathon. A Nine Souls-a-thon, one might even call it. Because I had the stupid idea to stream until I finished Eigong. I didn't intend to do that. It's just what happened. So, the proof here is in the pudding. If you look at my latest two videos, the two videos I've posted within the last 24 hours, the first one is this one, struggling to beat Nine Souls for 12 hours straight. If you look at the timestamp, it's 11 hours and 52 minutes long, almost a full 12 hours. Followed then this morning by the sequel and the finale of the finale. Its final boss took 17 hours, but I finished Nine Souls. If we add up these two times together, the total time comes out to just over 17 hours. That I was streaming. I had to divide the VOD into two separate YouTube videos because I found out afterward that YouTube caps out live stream VODs, live stream recordings at 12 hours. So that means the last 5 hours and the finale, the victory, which we're going to rewatch today during this stream, were both wiped from my live tab, right? So what I did was instead, I finally, like I was just talking about, I finally uploaded, I split the VOD into two separate videos and uploaded it to the channel. So if you're wondering what happened to the finale, why the live stream itself is no longer on the channel, it's because I privated it, the original live stream, and instead I uploaded the 2 split VOD videos onto the channel. So if you want to see the finale, it's still in the playlist for the 9 Souls Let's Play. But if you want to see the finale, they are uploaded here under my videos, not under my live tab anymore. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this layout in the meantime, because we're gonna be watching some. We're gonna be watching today some recaps and going over what exactly happened during that stream. Let's see. Are you now older and wiser? I feel older and dumber. I feel older and dumber, not older and wiser, unfortunately, after fighting Eigong. Definitely older, because that I just watched, literally on my OBS monitor. I just watched the hours of my life slip away. And you know what the worst part is, too? The worst part is that if I had actually taken the time to stop streaming, right? Funny Mike. If I had stopped streaming... 1 second. So if I'd stopped streaming that day and instead decided to, like, go to bed like a normal person should, and, you know, not marathon the fight, then the fight easily would have taken me much, much, much less time than it actually wound up taking. So, like, it's on me. I'm going to check this out. Let me see if this actually worked really quickly. Oh, now you guys are getting the peek behind the camera. I need some messages on chat. Or I need some messages on screen. Quickly. This is me in Stream Elements editing my overlays. Somebody sent out some... Well, it's going to be white on white, so that's probably a mistake. Let me pull up one of the videos. Good. Hopefully this will actually work. But we'll find out. This is me from last week. Nice. All right. So we have a bit of streamception. This is me. This is me from last week. Thank you for sending out the messages in chat. This is me from last week doing the stream. This is me now. Okay? This is me now. So I'll use this as like background noise while I talk today. I'm just going to edit one last thing in Stream Elements. We're going to move chat over. Let's move chat over like right there. That'll be good. Just for today's stream anyway. Okay, cool. So we'll switch over to the overlay again in a second. What I was going to say was that yeah, this is the VOD. I'll let my struggling play in the background. By the way, if you want to watch it, I for some reason, like if you want to go back and watch the VOD, it is, yeah, I can't tell who is who, right? If you look very closely at our lips, you'll notice that one of us is not talking at all because he's locked in on defeating Eigong, and the other one is currently smiling because he's having a good time. So yeah. Yeah, the unhealthy looking one is past sheep for real. So what I was saying before though was that, yeah, this is the stream VOD. If you want to go back and rewatch it for some reason, there are chapters. I did put chapters into the video. Let's go to the part where is it? This one. So yeah, so this is going to be... What's playing in the background right now is about to be the attempt where I actually beat Eigong for the first time. Now listen. Yeah, so what I was saying earlier was that if I had actually stopped streaming and had called it for the night and then come back later that week, or maybe even today, like today in an alternate timeline, I actually healthily came back and said, you know what? I made the right choice last week to stop streaming, to stop fighting Eigong, and I put my pride aside. And here we are now. We're gonna beat Eigong today on September 17th. It's already the 17th. That's kind of crazy. We're gonna beat Eigong right now, right? That's the good ending. That's the good timeline. But that is not the timeline that we lived in and that we currently live in. Because what I did last week was I did all this in one stream. and eventually beat Eigong, and then learned that Eigong has a third phase. Well, I knew Eigong had a third phase, but you can only access it by doing the 8-men ending, and this is from the Solarian ending, which I chose first. So then we spent the rest of stream getting back to Eigong, redoing the fight, finally beating her. We'll rewatch that, but as you can tell in this part of the stream, I was still capable of actually speaking. When we get to the finale, then that's the point where I'm just lips tight, locked in, like focused up the wazoo, just completely ignoring chat. Which, by the way, I need to actually read these messages. I'm sorry, guys. I've been going on a tangent. Next stream game. I Like Guns asked earlier. Guns, I'm gonna be playing. I've already announced it on stream. I was trying to remember if I had teased it yet or not. I'm gonna be doing the Plucky Squire. That's gonna be our next stream game. I think what I'm gonna do is later on in this stream, funny you mentioned it actually, I'm gonna show you guys the trailer for the game. So if you haven't heard of or seen gameplay of the Plucky Squire yet, which is gonna be our next stream game, not our next video essay game, but our next stream game at least, just for like a little breather in between video essay games. That's gonna be the next one. I'm only slightly upset that I conked out at 15 hours into the Eigong stream. Dude, some of you guys were troopers. Like, if you look down, you can literally see Ian and Sam's names are in this chat. I'm getting like streamception right now. If you look beneath me, and then beneath me, you're gonna see chat from the live stream. You guys were troopers. Like, some of you guys stayed the whole time. Like, I mean, some of you guys obviously came back later on and were like, oh my god, you're still streaming, that's insane. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm crazy. Some of you guys stayed almost the entire time, and I was like, wow, that's like commitment. I felt bad. I felt worse for you guys than I did for myself. Let's see. 2 yellow shirts. Now we have 2 yellow shirts. I indeed did not catch stream because I was on a 3-day time crunch to edit my anniversary video. Yeah, Seamaster, I saw that you put that up. I need to actually check that out. Congrats on that, by the way. Happy 2 years. I'm glad I didn't know Sheep for the 2 years he was gone because he was actually funny and entertaining. Thank you. It's like an anime time skip IRL. Did you rage during the 17 hours? It was so bad. So let's start talking about like the ways that this fight, this stream, these poor choices I made changed me, right? I kind of have a list of things I actually wanted to talk about during today's stream, and that's one of them. So the first and foremost is that I have never been more tilted in my life. I was about to say playing a video game, period. No, tilted, period. Like, in my life, I have never been more frustrated, more upset, or like more other words that mean the same thing than this fight, right? Like, I don't think it's like Inside Out. You know how in Inside Out 2 the main character Riley starts to feel new emotions for the first time? I think that the Eigong fight unlocked a new emotion in my own head. That's how bad it was. Like, I don't think I've ever been more frustrated with myself, more stressed, and I've been to therapy. Not for Eigong, but for other things in life. I was gonna say, though, that I'll go back to the beginning of stream already. One of the things that I specifically was struggling with. Hang on one second. I'm trying to take timestamps today so I can actually go back and make stream chapters. One of the things that I dealt with, like, as a repercussion of doing this stream, was like the sheer amount of stress, like physical stress that put on my body. Was 1, streaming for 17 hours straight. 2, pulling that all-nighter, which I haven't done in like 4 years. 3, getting like only 2 hours of sleep the next day before going to work that evening. Like, fortunately, I work nights, so I didn't have to worry about working like right after the stream. But you know what? Maybe if I did have work at like 9 a.m. like a normal person, then I would have been like the night before, this Tuesday night, I would have been like, I gotta stop. I have work in the morning. But no, me having work at like 4 p.m., I was like, I can keep streaming. I can go all night. So the physical stress I put on my body from this led to me over the next few days. This is the cosmetic thing I was talking about earlier, and it's kind of gross. Breaking out. Also, shout out to me. What is this? Almost 6 hours into the attempts, finally beating Eigong for the first time and getting the Solarian ending. I started breaking out, like, really badly. Like, the stress that I put on my body, like, I was getting mad acne. Like, my skin was relatively clear going into the live stream last week, and then over the next few days, like, I was just waking up with such bad acne. Like, it was from, mostly I would imagine it's from a lack of sleep, because when I get bad sleep, I notice I break out more, right? But also a combination of, like, obviously, like, stress and, like, me just being, like, completely disoriented for, like, the next, like, week, right? I did indeed go through the 6 stages of grief. Isn't it 7? Isn't it 7 stages of grief or something? Either way, I went through all of them. You know what? If it's only 6, Seamaster, I added a 7th. I went through a 7th stage of grief after this live stream. During this live stream, too. You marathon that stream. Me and Sam took the night watch for the chatters who slept, and I just barely missed Sheep finishing it. Ian and Sammy were crazy with it. Like, the twins were going crazy on the night watch. It was insane. We're gonna be making stream chapters of stream chapters. Like, the stream chapters for this video were so hard. Like, I must have spent, like, 45 minutes at least yesterday doing stream chapters for this video and for the second part as well. Dude, I'm gonna need therapy again just because of Eigong, for real. It truly surpassed light being grind in all facets. That was my goal, was to make sure it didn't surpass light being. But fortunately, or unfortunately, I should say, it did. It did, definitely. This is now easily, like, one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And one of the dumbest too. Like, looking back on it retrospectively, I was like, I could have made so many better choices. Like, the first one I was talking about was, like, stopping stream, right? I could have stopped streaming, which would have been the healthiest choice for my body and also for the gameplay. But here's the other thing I could have done. I could have, yes, I could have slept. That's a big one as well. I could have also eaten food, by the way. I don't know if you guys remember this. I didn't eat. I had a slice of toast. I had a slice of Dave's Killer Bread Good Seed. Shout out to Dave's Killer Bread. That stuff's the goat. But that's the only thing I ate. After I think it took me 12 hours. More than 12 hours since I started streaming to actually go into my kitchen and eat that slice of bread, or grab it and then eat it on stream, because Ghosty, shout out to Ghosty, Ghosty was like, bro, have you eaten? You need to eat, like, right now. And I was like, okay, I'll go eat. So I ate, and then, you know, we kept going with stream, but that was literally, like, the only thing I ate. So, like, over the course of, like, 17 hours, I'd only eaten maybe, like, what is that? That's probably, like, 150 calories for that one slice of bread. Let me tell you this, too, by the way, guys. I weigh myself on a daily basis. And I didn't do it last Wednesday after the stream. I was just so tired. I was like, I need to eat. I did eat after the stream ended. I ate, like, a nice big breakfast, a bunch of food, and then immediately crashed, right? Because I knew I had work in a few hours, so I got those 2 hours of sleep I keep talking about. But the thing is that, like, Tuesday night, last Tuesday, I skipped dinner. And the thing is that dinner is my meal of the day, right? Like, that's when I like to have a nice big dinner at the end of the day to relax, unwind, like, watch some anime. Like, that's, like, one of the things one of my simple pleasures, right? Well, I skipped that meal last Tuesday. And so I went to bed without supper, like, literally, as a grown man. And when I weighed myself, not Wednesday morning, but Thursday morning, I can actually tell you guys. I can tell you guys what the difference was. So, and I imagine most of this is from water weight, because I didn't eat Tuesday night. But last Tuesday morning, on the 10th, when I woke up, I weighed myself before stream. I weighed 141.5 pounds that morning, right? 141 pounds, we'll say. And then the next time I weighed myself on Thursday, On Thursday I weighed 138 pounds. In the span of 2 days, I had lost 3 pounds because I didn't eat that one night. So most of that's from water weight, I imagine, but I was 3 pounds lighter. So between breaking out and losing weight, clearly this wasn't the most healthy of choices. And 3 pounds, I think that's, hang on, I'll tell you, because I know we have a lot of foreign viewers. Hang on, I'll tell you right now. Pounds to kilograms, 1.4 kilograms lighter. I was 1.4 kilograms lighter, 2 days later after the stream. Let's see. I remember kept leaving at the 6-hour mark, but then came back at 8-hour mark. I think one of the most frustrating things for me, like it was so silly, like the whole stream itself. Like one of the most, like, not actually. This is me. I love this. This is me trying to like talk over top of the Nine Souls credits theme, which I was so worried I was gonna get copyright struck for. I think I was actually incredibly, after 6 hours of streaming, I was busting it down. Good for me. But I was going to say that one of the things that made me realize how much time was passing was people leaving and then coming back, right? Like, you guys were one of my like time markers for how much time I'd been putting into the fight, because you guys would leave, go to school, go to work, go to bed, right? Like I should have been doing, and you would come back hours later, like 6+ hours later, after you had finished your work, your school, your sleep, and you were like, you literally said to me, you were like, dude, why are you still alive? What? Why are you still alive? Like, what is going on? Like, Mr. Krabs, like, had to, like, wipe his eyeballs off. When, you know, when he takes them out, he's like, and then puts them back in. That was you guys with your eyeballs being like, what are you doing, man? And I look at the camera and I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm stuck here for life. We're locked in, baby. Teardrops falling down my face. Oh, sorry about that if you got jump scared by the flashing colors. I forgot that happens here in the credits. And now I'll skip over the credits scene so we don't get any seizures, and you guys can rewatch me getting over to Eigong. Let's see. Now you know to trust your fans. I think that's one of the things that really, like triggered me. It was interesting. Like I was getting triggered, not from like chat messages or chatters. It was me. I was triggering myself. Like it was kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and like this loop I got stuck into, where I was saying to myself, like, you are ignoring, like, the people who are watching you, right? Like, your mods, your chatters, like, you're ignoring everybody who is telling you what you need to do. Like, what would be so much better for your health to do. Like, go offline, eat food, water break, stretch break, walk around, like, get off line, basically. Get off. You are ignoring all of these people and choosing to continue to play. That was my mindset ever since, like, people started realizing I was streaming for way too long, and, like, the positivity started coming in where they were like, you got to stop, you should go offline, you need to take care of yourself. And I kept going. That was my mindset that I got stuck into, that repetitive mindset for the rest of stream. And that only triggered me more because I was getting upset. I was getting frustrated, not with you guys, but with myself for not listening to what you were saying and ignoring you. And I apologize for that. That was that was one of the, that I really felt bad about. Like, I apologize to, like, some specific people after stream, but, like, I just want to reiterate, like, I'm sorry to everybody. Like, because I feel like everybody was looking out for me, and I just couldn't stop. And that was my issue. Like, I was thinking to myself after that, I'm like, bro, I have a problem. I have an issue. Like, I cannot do that again. Seamaster Googled it. It's 5 stages of grief. You added 2. Oh, man. Hey, Dave's Killer Bread is so good. Suboptimal physical condition. If I had stopped streaming and slept, I would have done so much better the next time I played the game. For real. Like, it's literally like, that's just how it works. Yeah, Blair, we're reacting to ourselves pretty much. This stream is just a just chatting stream where I'm talking about, like, 9 Souls, what happened to me afterward, etc., etc. Yeah, I'm seeing Seamaster's reaction to how much weight I lost from the stream. 3 pounds, 1.4 kilograms. You never seen anyone get copyright struck for it? I was so worried, Sebastian. As you could tell from rewatching the credit sequence just a second ago, I was panicking. When you did True Running, I came back after work and still saw you stream. It was crazy. She accidentally been a Mike Tyson punch into our sleep schedule. I felt that's one of the other things I was sorry about, or I am sorry about. I was like, some of you guys actually, like Ian and Sammy and everybody else, like, who like actually stayed around for the whole thing and threw off their own sleep schedule. I know Ghosty was doing it too. I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I am doing this to these people. Like, obviously you guys have free will, but I was thinking to myself, I'm like, the only reason they are still awake is because I am still streaming, and I feel bad about that. Like, I should not be doing this to them, right? Like, that was really, like I was saying, one of the things that was, like, tilting me. Like, getting into that, like, cycle of feeling bad. Yeah. Remember the second hallway sequence? Dude, I choose to forget it, Ian. Me with video game addiction. It's the craziest thing. Like, I've never done something like this off stream before, right? Like, this is the longest I've ever played a video game in a row, and one of my worst experiences with a video game. But also, I'll give it credit. Retroactively, like, looking back onto the fight, I still really enjoyed Eigong. Like, I was even thinking when I was at work the next day, like, I was like, even though I was like reeling, I was like, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, I'm working right now, and after doing all that stupid stuff to my body, like, in that ridiculous stream, but Eigong is still pretty goated. I'm not gonna lie. Eigong was a pretty good fight. I was like, yo, I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, they really cooked on that one, didn't they? I just really cooked myself. That was my fault. Yeah, no, but 17 hours for Eigong specifically is way too much time. Like, normally, I like to imagine that. I'll be honest. Like, I'm gonna say, based on what was going on during stream, that I would have still been, even if I didn't stream 9 Souls, even if I was playing this in my off time, all by myself, casually, I still think I would have been towards the upper echelon of, based on the fact that it took me 17 hours to finish both endings. I think I still would have been on the upper echelon, I'll admit that, of 9 Souls players for how long it takes you to beat Eigong, right? Like, average was like 4 hours total. I imagine that I would have taken a total of, I'm going to say 8. I'll be honest, like, I'm going to say maybe less. I like to hope maybe less, but just to be what is the word? What's the word? Conservative. I'm going to say it would have taken me 8 hours off stream. So, either way, still a great fight. Rev, by the way, hey, what's going on, Rev? Hi. I'm back. I'm still alive somehow. You should have let us know you were okay after stream. I was sending out some messages on Discord, but I probably could have talked more. I was just so tired. Yeah, at least it was very fun content I shared with people. LMAO. I want to go down in history as the YouTuber. Like, I want to be I want to be like that journalist who played Cuphead's tutorial and couldn't finish it all those years ago. I want to be that to 9 Souls. I want to be known as the YouTuber, the dumb, stupid YouTuber who took 17 hours to beat Eigong, right? Like, I want to go down in history. I should write a Steam review where all I say is that, like, final boss took me 17 hours. Thumbs up. I had a pretty good time. I would have stuck around regardless. I'm glad some people were able to still enjoy it. Eigong is a great boss. Sheep saying he wants to be above average on beating a boss that takes 17 hours to beat them. Oh, man. Oh man, you saw Sebastian. You saw somebody who had 380 tries versus 394. My 394. Yeah. In case you guys didn't, I don't know if anybody's actually done an official count yet, but if you didn't know, we had a rough estimate going for how many attempts I took. Shout out to all the death counters, by the way, that were going on during stream, because I know we had several people switch off the duty of counting my deaths, how many times I lost to Eigong. By the end of it, we got to like 400. Like 400 total deaths. Insane. Like, I couldn't believe it. So I'm glad to know somebody else has maybe taken a similar amount of attempts. Hey man, work. I won't be here much longer, but want to say hi. What's up, Rev? Hope you're having a good shift. Thanks for joining in. The classic boy you look and I generated. I consider myself under average, and it took me almost 4 hours to beat it, and it was in 3 days, LMAO. See, that's the thing. If I had spread it out like a normal person over the course of several days, it would have taken me literally a quarter, possibly a quarter of the time, if not at the most, like half the amount of time it really took me. And that's one of the things I was thinking about afterwards. I'm like, man, was that really worth all the time I invested into it? No. No, Eigong was not worth all the time I invested into her fight. Still like the fight though. Still like the fight. I was thinking about the boss attack patterns in my sleep, in my 2 hours of sleep. I'm not even joking. Like when I woke up the next day before I had to go to work, I woke up and the first thing I realized I was thinking about was the attack patterns. Like I still had the controller in my hands, and like my hand wasn't doing this. My hand wasn't pretending like it had the controller, but my mind did. Like my mind was going through the attack patterns, and I could see Eigong moving on behind my eyelids, and I could like think. I was thinking about the moves I had to make in order to react to the fight, right? Like it was still going on. That's how imprinted Eigong's fight was onto my brain by the end of stream. What was I gonna say though? Recommended by Sound of Sheep review. It took me 17 hours to beat Eigong. Would recommend. Oh yeah. Now you can do boss rush mode flawless, LMAO. You know what's crazy? I think I have Stockholm syndrome. I think I have Stockholm syndrome now. This is one of the afterthoughts of playing this game and spending so much time with Eigong, is that I didn't play any games. I want to say this. I did not play a single video game for like almost an entire week after this fight. Like I had burnt myself out entirely on playing video games for days. Like I did not want to pick up a controller. I'll say this. My wrist hurt so bad. Like going back to the physical pains. Besides the acne, besides the sleeplessness and the weight loss, my wrist and my joints, like here in my left hand, were killing me. Like, and to be honest, I still low-key feel it. But it's getting better, so I think it's going away on its own. But my wrist hurts so much. Like, I didn't want to admit this on stream, but I think is that carpal tunnel? I think I low-key gave myself some like carpal tunnel or something like that. Or like just I've never experienced it before, but like a gamer injury where I'm like my hands, my joints, they ached. They ached, man. I was like, oh, what did I do to my body? I still love Eigong though, because I think I have Stockholm syndrome. I did actually after the God, this is so silly. After the fight, I really wanted to go back and do it again. It's the craziest thing. I wanted to not stream it even. I just wanted to replay the fight. Like that's how bad my Stockholm syndrome became, where I wanted to go back and do the fight again. Like just the fight itself, not like replay the game or anything like that, which even though Nine Souls is a great game, I really just wanted to refight Eigong. I really did. I was just like, man, kind of want to go again. The Stockholm syndrome is crazy, isn't it? So maybe boss rush one day. I don't know if on stream, but we'll see. Sebastian, I was completely perplexed how that fight stretched for so long. You played quite well. I expected you to take no more than 4 hours for the true ending. I was so confident too. I was so like, I didn't even feel like cocky. I just felt like, yeah, I think I can do that. That sounds reasonable, right? And then look what happened. We took 4 times as long, more than that. I'm not do boss rush unless the devs released it. I was stuck in Celeste mod and don't want another mod to take over. It makes sense. Rumor has it that official boss rush for 9 Souls will come out with console ports. Very hype. Rev, you think it is carpal tunnel? I have it too, but from mobile rhythm games. Okay, unfortunately, my 10 minutes is up, but I have a good last few minutes of stream. Thanks, Rev. I appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully my hand's been feeling better ever since. Like, every day that passes, my hand does feel better. And it was only really bad, like, I'd say the day after. So, like, Thursday. It was only really bad then. And that also contributed to why I haven't been really playing games in my off time since this live stream. Speaking of which, let's move over to... Let me switch over for background music or background visuals. What's getting recommended in my feed right now? Bunch of Pokemon stuff. Whine About It. That's a great podcast. Cutie Cinderella's podcast and Maya's podcast I was listening to before stream. This is my Whine About It is my cleaning podcast. I like to listen to it while I'm cleaning my apartment every week. Anyway, let's switch over to the other... let's see, the other... Yeah, my recommend is pretty goated. All these videos are great videos. Anyway, let me switch over to... The stream chapters are so dumb. You know what? Let me switch over to when I start to actually get better at the fight. And we'll watch that in the background. And this is one of the last chapters of the finale when I was starting to actually like start getting better at the fight and getting close to finishing it. Let's see. There are people with 3-digit number of hours doing Eigong challenge runs and stuff like no WASD Eigong speedrun. That's something I would never do, but I did want to go back and fight it again. Yeah, you were just sore. Hopefully, right? Any dent? Any gamer dent? Fortunately, my hair is so like large that it prevents a gamer dent. So my headphones don't really squeeze my head. They squeeze my hair. So it's kind of like a cushion. Oof. God. Only dealt damage with water flow talisman? Sebastian, you're crazy. In 2 years, Sheep will have PTSD of that stream where Eigong gets mentioned. I'm going to look back on Eigong like the way I look back on Light Being from Everhood. As in, that was my previously most, like, tilted boss fight I've done in a while on stream. Eigong has now taken the cake for both my longest live stream I've ever done and also the most triggered I've ever gotten on stream, for sure. Don't want to go down the same rabbit hole. I could never get into Dead Souls, unfortunately. Dead Souls. That's what I was doing on stream. Dead Souls, but not Dead Cells. Let's see your YouTube notifications. Famous last words. I'm not too embarrassed by them, but I'm not going to show them. Oh, the Don't Starve hours go crazy. I love Don't Starve. What was I going to talk about else? I have a list of other things I want to mention during this stream, so we can talk about that. About how all of this stuff went. Yeah, so like the next few days, like the rest of the week, I really just spent time like recovering, like physically and mentally, just like trying to like catch up on sleep, eating a lot of food. The sleep thing was the biggest part because my sleep schedule was just completely thrown off the wazoo. Like it was awful. Right? Like, after this one all-nighter, I just couldn't go back to sleep. No, I could go back to sleep. I went to sleep easily, but my body was just lacking the energy from all that sleep I missed. So even though I got, like, a good night's sleep on Wednesday night, on Thursday, I was still pretty tired. And like, I think the main thing that really was killing me was the disorientation of, like, my circadian rhythm, like, my sleep schedule, like, my internal alarm just got completely thrown off by doing the all-nighter. So like really I spent this last weekend especially like trying to fix it, right? It also didn't help that this weekend I actually spent a lot of time with friends. I went out on Friday night and on... This is actually something unrelated to 9 Souls that I wanted to talk about, but I did go out to... This is pretty hype. Let me have it. Let me have it. Come here. Thank you. So this weekend, I kind of used as like my birthday celebration weekend. My birthday was on the 6th, Friday the 6th of September. But I used this previous weekend as like my real like celebration. I took off from work and I hung out with friends. And so on Friday night, I went out to the city, got food and drinks with my friends. But on Saturday, I went to the Porter Robinson concert. Woo! Porter Robinson, yeah! This is the shirt I got from the concert. So this all relates to Eigong too, because I was able to take my mind off Nine Souls for a few days because I was still like recovering. I was still recovering from the stream. This is the shirt I got. I had a dream that I met Porter Robinson and he was so rude, never listening again. And then it's got a little devil tail on the back. So this is the shirt I bought when I was at the concert, and it was awesome. It was really a lot of fun. I don't know if I have any fellow Porter Robinson fans in chat, but I want to say this. I want to say this for all the Porter Robinson fans who may be watching this. I didn't know, or maybe this is a new development, but I didn't know that there was a pretty large amount of furries who listen to Porter Robinson. I was kind of surprised by how many by the amount of furries I saw. Now, look, if you're a furry, more power to you. But I just wasn't expecting it when I went to the show. When it was so funny. So I took two of my friends, right? Like I was the one who really wanted to go see Porter Robinson. If you don't know Porter Robinson, he's like a hyper pop electronic artist, right? Who's had a couple of hits that you've probably heard every now and then. He's like collabed with like League of Legends. He has a song that was like featured in the game a few years ago. But anyway, I took two of my friends who don't listen to Porter Robinson to the concert, right? I was the one who really wanted to go. And when we were there, when we were sitting in the audience, my friends turned to me and they're like, "Yo, Sheep, so is this like a furry thing?" And I look at them, I'm like, no, it's not. And they're like, "Are you sure? Because we've seen a couple of things." And I'm like what? Well, for starters, when we enter, when we were going into the venue, literally, like we're walking up to the front gates. There's not a lot of people coming in yet, but one of the first couples that we see going into the venue are in full, I'm not even kidding, full furry costumes. Full furry costumes, like mascot costumes. The whole shebang. Like when you think of a furry convention, this is what you see in the back of your mind. And I was like, oh no. And they turned to me and they're like, is this? And I'm like, no. And then later on when we're in our seats, they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. And my one friend who's sitting on the other side turns to me and he's like, dude, the girl sitting next to me is literally wearing paws as we speak. And I looked and I saw these two this is the only thing she was wearing that was even furry related, but she was wearing two giant black cat paws gloves over her hands, and she was doing like the cat thing with them. And in that moment, I immediately realized, I'm like, oh, I'm never beating the furry allegations now, am I? I was like, oh, man. I was in shambles. I was like, no! It's normal music, I swear. And then I was like, all right, maybe there's a bigger furry fan base. Actually, no, I know that there is. I know that there is for a fact, too. Wait. I know, my friends think I'm so weird. I know for a fact that after the concert, my friends like turned to each other and they were like, after the concert, they were probably just like, yo, he's a furry, right? And they're like, yeah, he's definitely furry. And I'm like, no! I promise I'm not. Hang on, give me 1 second. Should have blew my nose. You know what? I know for a fact. Oh, Piro, you're just in time. We were talking about the furries. I know for a fact that here, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up on my also what was going on here? me trying to set up me trying to set up scenes on OBS. Be like, hang on. I will while we talk about Nine Souls again, I'm gonna pull up on my phone. Actually, I'll just show you guys on my phone. It'll be easier that way. One of the photos I took of the stage. I know for a fact now that Porter Robinson is definitely like appeals to furries because one of the things they did at the beginning of the concert. So this is a photo of that I took from the show, right? Like nothing too crazy, just like a casual pic from on stage. And also I'll catch up on chat messages in a second. I'm just going on this long tangent right now. But if you zoom in, you'll notice you can see it there, a giant, oh god, yeah, no, the furry allegations cannot be beat now. A giant inflatable pink cat-like creature that they had sitting on stage from the beginning of the set almost to the end. This thing was just on stage while he was performing for almost the entire set. And when they eventually deflated it, because they had to use the space for another song, the number of boos I heard in the crowd, boo, no, bring it back. I was like, oh man. I was like, oh man, yep, nope, I'm officially a furry in their eyes. My boys definitely know me for being a furry now. And so the allegations cannot be beat, unfortunately. The concert was great. I had a great time. A lot of fun. A lot of fun at the show. Except for that part, I guess. I'm fine with the furries. I'm just not one. But the allegations will never be beat now. Going back to Eigong. Let's talk about Nine Souls again. No coping, no bias. Eigong is a masterfully crafted fight. Every build can work against her, but nothing trivializes her. Like, I'm watching the footage right now as you say that. Also, this is me with the lock-in face. I'm getting so close to finally winning. This is me with the... This was me when I'm just like... You can tell which one is me right now on stream because clearly one of us is much more focused than the other. But anyway, the fight is smooth, tight, satisfying, stupidly hard, but 100% fair. That's why it's so addicting. I actually checked and Sheep almost won the Phase 3 fight at 11.5 hours in. Are you serious? Wow, I didn't even know I had an attempt that close that early on. Oh yeah, back to Porter Robinson for just a second. I used to be deep into Robinson in the past. LMAO. Katana, it's a good thing you got out because the furries have overtaken it. That escalated quite quickly. You know him for Goodbye to a World? That's a good song. Sheep, is there something you want to tell us about your username? Yeah, right? That's the other thing I was thinking about. I'm like, no, my username is Sound of Sheep. I'm in shambles. Thanos snapped, turned to dust as soon as I remembered I'm Sound of Sheep. Yeah, it doesn't help that I played Nine Souls. I literally thought about that weekend. After I realized, I'm like, bro, there are so many like indicators that make me look like a furry, but I promise I'm not. I promise. You're doing Path of Pain, okay? That's a good excuse. Path of Pain does take a while and a lot of focus. Don't worry, Pure Sheep is talking about him going to a furry convention. All right, cool. It doesn't help that my moderators are furries then too. No! To get my own grade 101. We need to design a fursona for him ASAP. I already got the sheep thing going for me, so you know what I mean. Don't encourage. I'm not trying to encourage. Sound of shambles. Sound of shambles would be a really funny emote. Check Discord. All right, I'll check Discord on my phone. All right, so the thing I was gonna say about Eigong though. What the heck was I gonna say about Eigong? I basically said a lot of stuff I wanted to cover during the stream. I'm pulling up Discord right now though. I'm looking for, I guess what channel am I looking at? Oh yeah. Gun sent this screenshot. The face sheep makes after calling himself a furry. No. I was laughing, bro. No. I was mid laugh on this one. I was like sheepishly being like, oh. Wait, hang on, I can recreate it. I was like laughing because I was embarrassed, all right? Not because I was like, they'll never catch me now. Anyway. So yeah, one of the things I got from this Eigong fight was the Stockholm syndrome, but I didn't want to replay 9 Souls. Not that quickly anyway, or not that soon. The way I've decided to cope with this loss of 9 souls in my life was to start playing Sekiro. I picked up because everybody was saying that I'd probably enjoy Sekiro if I enjoy 9 souls because the game is Sekiro-inspired combat. I decided to start playing Sekiro yesterday. So I played 17 hours of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice in a row yesterday. No, not really. I played for like 2 hours. And I started. It's good. I like it so far. I think I'm really going to like it. I could already tell and see where the Sekiro inspired, or the Sekiro inspiration came from when designing the 9 Souls combat. And so far I'm really enjoying the Sekiro combat as well. So I'm going to try and get more into that as well. And you know what the funny thing is too? I think I've actually taken lessons away. I've taken gamer lessons away from fighting Eigong, because as I was playing Sekiro yesterday, I was like thinking to myself, like, be patient, take your time, like, don't rush into, like, or I think one of my flaws when I play video games, especially Souls-likes, is that I really try to, like, completely capitalize, I should say over capitalize on my windows when I'm fighting bosses, right? Like, I'm sure there's moments when I was fighting Eigong, especially at the beginning, where, like, I'll really try to be like, boom, 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 get all these attacks in, everything at once, my whole kit. When in reality, what I should have been doing was 1 hit, 2 hits, maybe 3 hits, back up, reset, 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, back up, reset. Like, and instead of over capitalizing, like, under capitalize on the windows that a boss will give you during, especially a Souls-like boss will give you during the fight to do damage to them, right? Like when they're in between their attack patterns. I need to undercapitalize and play it safer, play more defensively when I'm doing these fights. And in the end, if I do that, that means that the fight will take less time because I'm taking less attempts, because I'm dying less as I do the fights. So I actually felt like I was playing well when I was doing Sekiro, even though it was like my first time playing the game. So I think that 9 Souls has turned me into a better gamer, and also apparently a furry. I'm kidding. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing Sekiro in my off time now, and hopefully enjoying it. The sound of shambles is sheep doing the Shinji chair pose. What's the Shinji chair pose? I am playing Lost Crown on Immortal difficulty. 9 Souls prepare me to curse the game because the game is pretty balanced actually. LOL. You're talking about 9 Souls is oh, and this is the attempt. I'm wearing the same shorts too. I'm just... Wait, trying to fix my chair. All right, but you get the, you get the joke. I just did a pretty good job. That was pretty good, wasn't it? I think I did a pretty good job imitating me from a week ago. Yes, this was the end. This was the end, baby. I beat it. Woo-wee! I can't believe I actually did it too. I can't believe I did it. This was insane. This was absolutely insane. So this is around like probably like the 16-hour 40 mark. Dude, the amount of nerves that went through my body when I saw Eigong jump up there on top of the sun, like ready to like, you know, get at it again. I was like, no. Phase 4. But then fortunately it was all cutscene stuff and actually the end of the game. I actually do want to talk about, in the last few minutes, I do want to talk about 2 more things. I want to talk about the story of the game. Because I do have some thoughts, like where I'm gonna lean. And this is, I know this is opening like a pretty big, what is it? A pretty big topic. But I do want to talk about the story of the game. But also, I do want to talk about the game that I'm streaming. I'm gonna start streaming again next week. Well, I should say I'm gonna start streaming next week, which is the Plucky Squire. Let's see. But first, I'll catch up on these chat messages before we talk about the story a little bit. Because that's actually what I'm going to be using and talking about during this video essay. As much as I'd love to just analyze my descent into insanity in a video essay, I think it might be more beneficial to actually discuss the story of the game instead. No, oh, by the way, I think I want to point this out since we're watching this part of stream or part of the game. Dude, I think that the most gruesome death... I want to hear everybody's fun discussion topic. I want to hear everybody's, like, what they think is the most gruesome death, Soul's death from the game. But I think what Yi did to Gumong, or Gaomong, however you say it, to Gumong, after she was the second boss, but where he put the collar onto her that, like, basically turned her into, like, a Jiangxi like zombie soldier that like wouldn't die and like would just be stuck in the state that he left her in. I think that was the most gruesome death. That was the most gruesome death that Yi did. And that's not even a death. Like, she didn't technically die. He kept her stuck and alive by putting the collar onto her neck. I think, and so like when I saw her, even after 17 hours like of streaming and doing all this fighting stuff, when I saw that she was still like in that state, I was like, that's insane. Like, that she would just be like that eternally. The other deaths were were more merciful. I'm gonna put it that way in comparison. Let's see. Actually, Sekiro and Nine Souls have one major difference. In Sekiro, best defense is offense, and Nine Souls best offense is defense. Interesting. I've been playing Sekiro pretty defensively so far. I've actually been trying to like avoid fights when I can, because I've noticed I feel like in Sekiro, from what I can tell so far, it's kind of crucial to like avoid fighting if possible, because I feel like it's very easy to get overwhelmed in Sekiro, at least at the beginning. Like, I felt like that's what the game was trying to teach me, because I'm already finding ways to like get around fights that aren't like essential boss fights. That then like allow me to avoid combat and proceed to the next area anyway, because the option is there to just avoid fighting instead. So I'm assuming that that's what the game is trying to teach me, or it's just that patience is really important too, and like stealthily killing things one at a time instead of fighting everybody at once. Let's see, the one from Genesis Evangelion. I actually have never watched Evangelion. The only thing we need is to have the same people in chat saying the same thing. Right. When I was just recreating the facial expressions, that would have been funny. If you don't stream Rain World, you are a furry. You know what's funny too? When I was going to download Sekiro, I saw Rain World in my recommended games to buy, and there was a second in me where I was like, nah. So I went with Sekiro instead. Let's see. Imagine 4th phase and boss rush like absolute Eigong. Oh god. Yeah, like they pull some like Hollow Knight shenanigans. A 3rd phase for G, he needs it. A 3rd phase would have been cool. Hey yo, what's up, Kevin again? Good to see you again. You think Nuxie was worse? I don't think Nuxie. You think Nuxie was bad? Like the way that she died with Fuwa's spike, like what is it? Impaling her, like as she was hugging. That one was sad. I wouldn't say that was as gruesome, as brutal of a death. I think that was the saddest death of the souls. I also think that Yang Lao, the old guy, I think Yang Lao, his death was pretty sad, just because he basically just died of old age, right? Like, we just watched, like, yes, he was injured, so that didn't help, but he basically died from being, he was already dying before Yi even got to him. So when Yang Lao kind of just fell out of his chamber, out of his pod and died, I was like, that is pretty sad. Let's see. You didn't exactly get along with Gumong before. Yeah, I could tell that Yi and Gumong were always on rough terms. This cutscene was sick, by the way. I wish I was not sleep deprived so I could have appreciated it more in the moment, but I really enjoyed this ending. Let's see. Used to be like the party ended a year ago and he's still here. Evangelion is the anime where the community thinks they are super smart for loving. I've never watched. Wait. No, it's Fuxi and Nuwa. Dude, I'm sorry. Like, until I make the video essay script, I will continue to get their names mixed up. It's not Nuxi and Fuwa, it's Fuxi and Nuwa. That's what it was. It was Fuxi and Nuwa, not Nuxi, right. I literally fell for the same mistake. It's so hard to remember. You always do that? I know I always do that. It's because in my mind I'm trying to not say Fuxi because it almost sounds like a curse word, right? Fuxi, right? Like it kind of sounds like a curse word in my mind. So I think my PG streamer brain rot makes me want to say Fuwa and Nuxi instead of Fuxi and Nuwa, which are their actual names. Either way, they died. Who cares? This ending was hype. Let's talk about the story for a second. And then I'll talk a little bit about Plucky Squire, which is the game I'm going to stream next. I already do have some, like, I just give you guys some, like, ideas about where I am for all my 9 Souls story heads in chat. I've got some ways. Oh, you think the intended pronunciation is closer to Fushi? Fushi. Like sushi, but with an F. I kind of like that name too. Fushi. I'm going to go with Fushi. Full send. Full send on Fushi. I'm not going to say the way Katana just wrote it. So, the story. We're not going to do like a full story analysis. I will say this. Now that I've finished the game and I've seen all the endings, both endings, I am worried. I am worried about the essay because it is going to be a time trying to summarize the story of this game, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a story. It's got a lot of there's a lot of backstory in this game. Like it goes deep, right? And it's complicated, yeah. And so I'm trying to figure out one of my tasks when I write that script. I still have to finish the Instars in Time video essay. Gosh, once I finish that and that video goes out, I'll start the 9 Souls script. But when I start writing it, I need to figure out how much of the story I actually need to dive into. How much of 9 Souls' story I actually need to dive into in order to make the points I want to make, right? Now, we're not going to do a full story summary here, but here are some of the points, like, here are some of the topics I took away from the game that I really want to touch on. One of the big ones is ambition, right? Like the idea of keeping our Not gonna. I won't spoil the whole video essay, but I do wanna, you know, bring up some of these ideas, some of these story topics, because I didn't really talk about it too much during the game, because I had to really think about what happened and then finally process my thoughts afterwards. Hey, look at that! It's the moment when Lolling became a member. Shout out to Lolling again for becoming a member during stream. I thought that they just joined again, but nope, that's just me watching the VOD, and the notification played. Anyway, what I was going to say was that I think ambition was a huge topic, right? Like the idea that like we need to keep our ambition in check, otherwise it can kind of get out of hand. Like I think the most obvious example is the fact that Eigong, right, our final boss of the game, was really trying to pursue immortality, right? Was really adamant about discovering how to make the Solarians immortal, and that during that process is how she accidentally unleashed Shanhuo. I think that's how you pronounce it, Shanhuo, Shanhuo, or however I was saying it, Shanhuo. I'm gonna go with that pronunciation. That's how she wound up infecting and unleashing a virus amongst the entire population that wound up killing all of the Solarians in the end, for the most part, because she was trying to become immortal. When has immortality, trying to become immortal, ever gone well for anybody in any story ever? So kind of like the idea of like ambition, right? Like we need to kind of be happy. We need to learn to be happy with what we have versus pursuing things we don't, right? Because that can lead to our downfall, and also making us less happy by pursuing things that we don't need. Another one is definitely going to be like the dichotomy between like certainty and uncertainty, right? Where like you have like the certainty of science, right? Where like we have all these science heads in the game who like really just want to find the answers, find the truth, and you know, like have things be black and white using science. Whereas you also have the spiritual characters like Hang, Yi's sister, like Lear, leader of the Fangshi Guild, Gripper Grandpa, better known, more comfortably known, who are more like spiritual believers who like, you know, there's more like uncertainty like in spirituality, kind of just being like, hey, it is what it is, let the world be the way it is, and you know, we'll find out what happens next when it happens. Like there's definitely versus the science heads who are like, we will make the future, we will take control, and we will make sure what happens is what we want. Like, and then how like the game kind of really portrayed, basically Taoism, the game, and then basically how the game portrayed like, I don't really think that the game ever put science in a good light. Like the amount of things that happened in this game that were negative due to science, there was a lot of examples of bad things that kept happening in this game due to science. So I'm pretty sure the game is also basically saying like, hey, maybe the spiritualism and connecting with spiritualism is a little bit better than connecting with the science stuff. That's kind of what we're leaning towards. Because whenever something good happened, it was always related to like to Tao, to spiritualism, and never really to science. Not that much anyway. It happened a few times, but mostly it was like, hey, spiritualism is good, science not as good, really. So those are two of the topics I want to talk about: ambition, and then like spirituality versus science. Playing God with science could be bad. That could definitely tie into the ambition topic. Let me write that down, actually. That's a good one, Piro. And then let's see. Yeah, so I think those are two of the topics I'm leaning towards right now. I kind of have to go back more and analyze the story before I make any concrete decisions about where I'm going to take the essay. Like I have like a bunch of character examples of like ways that like science was portrayed as bad or like leading to our downfall ultimately. Eigong, Jikan, who was like the roided up guy, who took too many drugs. Lady Ethereal, right? Whose like patience became obsessed with living in the soulscapes and not wanting to live in reality. Gumong soldiers, like, using science to create these like super zombies, soldiers who wouldn't die and just did everything you told them to. Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of arguments against using science too much is the way I'll put it. Also, Roland, hey, sorry if I forgot to say hi earlier when I saw your message. Let's see. Thanks for joining us today. We use science to build the Feng Shui Guild and bring world peace, but then realize that science alone is dangerous. Yeah, I really like that. Like how there was some overlap between like there was when I was getting the backstory of like the Feng Shui Guild and what happened during the turbulent era and how the Xi Kingdom basically built like a super weapon, like a nuke. So the Feng Shui Guild was like, we got to build a nuke too, except a better nuke, and that's when they built the rhizomatic bomb, right? Like, and then the Xi Kingdom was like, all right, that nuke is better than our nuke, so we surrender. They basically made an arms race. There was an arms race in the universe of Nine Souls. They had a literal arms race on their home planet, and then obviously that led to other parts of the story that I won't touch on right now, so we don't have to give it the whole backstory in the moment because it would take too long. Rigging 3D characters, that's hype. The message more like science is a tool for making our lives easier and better, not changing them altogether. Yeah, we gotta use science, but not overuse it. Yeah, not Taoism. No, I will not be talking about Taoism. We will be talking about Taoism. I do not want to talk about gripperism. Taoism. Yeah, they made the Haoshan sphere, but then the Feng Shui were like, we'll make a bomb instead then. Lear used signs and created basically a Solarian version of a nuke, ability to wipe out a nation at his fingertips. Then all souls went too far with their signs, and Lear went, wait, that's bad. Yeah, and that's when it became all spiritual. So that's where I'm going to leave the conversation about Nine Souls' story for right now. I do want to touch on one more thing for today's stream, and that's going to be the game. That's going to be the next game. Sorry, Schwan, we're gonna turn away from your tears for a second. I wanted to talk about the next game that we're gonna be playing. So some of you guys may have not seen or heard of the Plucky Squire before, but I wanted to show the trailer for the game that we are going to be playing next. So moving on from Nine Souls, starting next week, this is the release date trailer from Devolver Digital for their new indie game that I believe actually came out today. This game came out today. I just didn't want to stream this week because I want to work on the essay. So we're going to start this next week. This is the Plucky Squire, an indie game, like I just said, freshly released by Devolver Digital just today. That is a really cool switch up on like the adventure format. Because it takes place in both 2D and 3D spaces, as you can see from the gameplay we're watching right now. So, like, I think it's kind of like the main mechanic is that we're going to be switching from 2D gameplay in like this like picture book that where you see right now to 3D gameplay where the main character will hop out of the book and become like this like 3D figure instead. And it is coming out. Yeah, it came out today. So unless, oh, is that when they originally? No. Okay. I actually haven't watched this full trailer before. That's the one. There it is. Yep. That came out today. That's today, baby. That's today. So you can play this yourself if you want, but I'm going to be going live with, the Plucky Squire, this game, next Tuesday. And there it is. Yeah, the Plucky Squire. I'm going to be going live with the Plucky Squire next Tuesday. And that's going to be our next stream game. It's not a long game from what I can tell. They say the main campaign takes from like 8 to 10 hours. So I imagine that we're going to be streaming this game for maybe like 2-3 weeks at the most. But it's like an in-between game. I don't plan to make an essay about it. Yes, SBF, more Devolver bangers. You already know. I don't plan to make a video essay about this game. I just want to play it as like an in-between game so I can spend time to work on other video essays in the meantime, specifically the Instars in Time one, as well as the eventually the Nine Souls one. Hopefully hopefully I can finally finish the script for the Instars in Time one soon. It's not that it's taking me a long time. It's just that I haven't had a lot of time to dedicate to writing the script. You know what I mean? Too much time playing Nine Souls, right? Streaming Nine Souls for 17 hours straight. So this is the next game we're going to be playing starting next week. And then that'll take us into October. And then I have another game that I want to make into a video essay after that. That's going to be coming out in October. Without spoiling the exact name, but that is your clue. It comes out next month. Aaron, what's going on? Aaron, I should say. Aaron. Let's see. I thought bro said the effing Squire. Can you imagine this game with this aesthetic and it's just like the effing Squire? Very, what is it? Very R-rated of Devolver Digital for a change. Actually, no, Devolver Digital does some pretty crude stuff sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. You literally saw that game today, LOL, and it came out today, baby. I gotta actually buy it. I don't remember how much it costs, but hopefully they're doing... I love it when I love it when games do like a release date sale for the games. I want to try and take advantage of that if I can. That's huge for me. Somebody has to buy a lot of games for stream. Plucky Squire still sounds like one of those fake games I would see in a movie. It does, doesn't it? It kind of has that name to it, doesn't it? But the aesthetic of this game is gorgeous. I've never played a game like that looks this good before. Look, they even had the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa was in the storybook just now. I don't know if you guys saw that. But yeah, that is pretty much all the stuff I wanted to talk about for today's stream. We're not going to be playing any games today. I probably should have said that at the beginning of the stream. Just because I want to make it a short just chatting stream so we could just talk about like the aftermath of that Nine Souls live stream from last Tuesday, the finale, and also just talk about some other stuff that happened after I finished up the game. But yeah, that's basically going to wrap it up for the Nine Souls content on the channel for now. Okay, good. I don't have any... Do I have any... Nope. Okay, good. I hate watching YouTube videos on stream because I always get worried that some embarrassing thing... One embarrassing video is going to come up in my recommended at the very end. Fortunately, I am okay with all of the videos that have popped up here. If you couldn't tell I'm a nerd, everything being recommended in my feed right here is video game related. So clearly, I need to touch grass. And maybe I'll go do that right now because we're going to call it there for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this shorter Just Chatting stream. I haven't actually done a Just Chatting stream in a while, so it felt good to kind of just catch up with you guys and talk about what's been going on ever since the mistake that was the Nine Souls finale last week. Oops, I just closed out of my background music, so I'm going to reopen that as we wrap up the stream. But yeah, guys, I will be back. Yeah, it was calm. It was a nice podcast stream. For sure. If you guys just wanted to like talk or like have something to listen to, this was hopefully a nice opportunity to just chill. Francis, did you have a good time? I think Francis had a good time as well. Hope you guys did too. I will be back next. Ideally, I imagine next Tuesday from from 4 to 6 p.m. EST to start playing the Plucky Squire. Hopefully it gets good reviews and doesn't get review bombed or something bad. Hope you got some good rest. I did get some good rest. I actually feel like I've finally gotten my sleep schedule back in order, which has been huge. Hopefully my acne calms down now that I've caught up on sleep. Fingers crossed. But anyway, I'll be back again next week. Keep an eye on the community tab on the channel as well as the Discord. So you can get the stream schedule when it actually goes up, but I should be live next Tuesday and Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST, ideally, unless things change. Keep an eye on the community tab, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and leave a like on the stream for chill vibes and for talking about Nine Souls and having fun and wrapping up and analyzing everything that went wrong last Tuesday. We don't talk about it. Guys, I hope you have a good rest of your week. No more streams this week. I'll be back next week, like I was just saying. And until then, enjoy life. And this is Sound of Sheep signing off. Goodbye. I'm not a furry, I swear. Bye.